Error.
I don't want to do that.
Just how I roll.
Stick it up your jumper.
Excellent condition.
Yeah, my jumper.
Thank you. Oh, get out of here.
By the way, that does
They
pick up.
don't know what you just said.
That does pick up, he said.
That was Tom. Ladies don't.
Ladies and
Oh, we are live.
Hey.
Did he say?
What?
Yeah,
Now?
it's literally popped up that we're live.
Okay. Good start.
when did it go live?
Good morning.
You're supposed to give some warning.
Well, I thought. Let's just.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally it popped up on my phone saying
I didn't even hit start stream. I just clicked on OBS, but okay. All
I
right.
think we're actually safe.
Okay.
It's saying-
The page still says waiting for lucky hit.
Does it?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it might be just a timer thing.
I should check
Just to
that.
hit 8 o'clock.
The page still
No, we're. Are we live?
Good start, Rick.
Yeah.
No.
And we're live.
He said-
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it does say live now.
Yeah, I think we are live. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Okay. Welcome to the Lucky Hit podcast number 91, 5th of October 2020.
Maybe live, but I'm not there.
Oh, yeah, we got.
Yeah. Yeah, Gigaman's has just said you're live, guys.
Okay, cool.
You're live, by the way. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Oh well, YouTube's not telling me we're live.
Oh,
What the hell, YouTube?
This is chaos.
okay. Gagaman can't be with us this week. He's here in spirit, and by that I
He's
mean the
typing.
chat.
Yeah, it's hard in the chat right there.
Uh,
Saying that we're live and we don't know it.
So, if you can't notice, this is under new leadership for this podcast. It's a slightly different take. I'm ShelvedGamer.
I'm Murry Curry.
I'm HunkThunder.
And I'm Galaga. Wait,
Hang
no,
on a
I'm
minute.
Lady Gaga. Wait, no, again, I'm Big Elk. Yeah,
Okay,
Big
good.
Elk.
Cool.
That's the one.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the first times Gagaman, or at least in recent memory, one of the first times Gagaman hasn't been able to be with us for the podcast. So
Yeah, I can only recall maybe once or twice now.
well, we decided to keep the ball rolling, and as you can tell, there are bumps. But
But the show will go on
The sh-
whether you like it or not.
yeah, I mean, we
Shut up.
entertained waiting until we returned, but we thought we just keep this momentum going as we have done through this whole thing. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So do we want to start with what we've been playing?
Look, for a change, let's start with the news and then talk about what we're playing. No, I'm kidding.
What are you doing? That'll be chaos.
You're not allowed to do that.
You can't. Okay, who
Well,
wants
who's
to go
gonna
first?
stop me?
Yeah.
I
Galaga
think I've
Man?
gone first for like the last 2 weeks. So,
Yeah.
yeah, someone else should.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go first because. Oh yeah. All right.
Oh.
I haven't been playing that much, to be fair. I've mostly been playing Galaga a lot, to be honest.
Galaga.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, I've just been in an 70s arcade mood, so I've just been playing a lot of Galaga. I've just been trying to get to the finer points of it, trying to not suck at Galaga. And yeah, not by me, it's not.
Certainly not for me.
But yeah, I've it's good. I really like Galaga. Galaga's aged incredibly well. Though the hitboxes are very, very tiny. But I've also been playing Galaga 89 or 90, I guess, in the USA. And that's really good as well. Very colourful, lots of fireworks when you blow stuff up. What else have I been playing? I've also been playing Metroid. I started that up today, actually.
Which one?
The original on NES.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
That's brave.
Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to.
I played that a while ago, but I'm too lazy to look up a map, so I
Yeah.
don't know where to go.
I think it's more lazy, less. I think it's more lazy to look up a map on Metroid, to be honest, on the original.
Yeah, but good luck
I
getting
think
anywhere.
it's a lot
without
more
it.
expensive with that one than with any other Metroid.
Yeah. The main reason I've done it is because I wanted to test out my new 8-bit Do or 8-bit Do controller that I got on the Switch. Because I got the PC Engine controller that they released not too long ago, and it's got complete Switch support on there. So I've been using that with the little wireless dongle, and it's fantastic. What I like about it is they 8-bit Do have actually thought about it. So normally you need to use shoulder buttons to go to the menu on the Switch, but on this controller they've also made the shoulder buttons start and select, so you can just use start and select to access like save states and things like that. You don't have to mess around with stuff. So yeah, it feels like a NES, like, you know, the NES PC Engine style controller, and it's and I'll be going for Metroid again, and I've realised I do really like the original Metroid. I do think it's very good. It has its annoyances for its time, but you know, for its time. But I think that considering a lot of the competition back then, like, you know, Castlevania 2 and things like that, trying to do that, I think it did it probably the best. And I want to practice it up. I'd like to stream it, so I'd like to get good at it, so I can maybe do it relatively nippy.
Yeah.
We've
I'll
done.
be up for that if you need a running partner.
Yeah, we've done 2 Metroid games. Might as well do
Might as well
most of
carry
them.
on.
Yeah. And really, that's kind of it. I've been dabbling in Final Fantasy X a little bit. I'm not very far.
Is that the Switch port of that?
Yeah, I've been playing the Switch port of Final Fantasy X, and
How does that hold up?
very good. It's a very good port. It's very solid frame rate. I think it was only 30 anyway, but it's solid 30. It looks really good. Of all of like the remasters Final Fantasy have done, that's probably the cleanest one, and which I guess makes sense because it's the one that probably had is not too far back. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. It's nice to play with the European extras, but also in 60 hertz. So, you know, but I'm debating dropping that really, because I've kind of want to get into Yakuza and actually start playing the Yakuza game. So maybe next time we do the podcast, we will be able to talk about Yakuza again.
Oh no! Don't get me started.
Might be a good way for me to getting back into Judgment, because I have not played that game since PSO2 launched on PC.
Man, I love Judgment.
So that's all I've been playing, and that's a pretty good segue, I guess, to what Elk has been playing.
For sure. This week I really just played PSO2. Wasn't able to make it for anything else. Yeah. Actually, I didn't even have that much time for PSO2 either, because for a while the game was actually unplayable. See, well, when episode 5 came out, the scheduled maintenance that was supposed to bring in all of the episode 5 content actually went a bit longer than usual, and then after that they had to take the game down again for an emergency maintenance period. So for about 2 days, for the most part of 2 days, nobody could actually log into PSO2.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah, but on the bright side, whenever there is emergency maintenance, they always give people a couple of free items as a token of apology.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I think I got some try boosts and some bonus mission keys for that. And I haven't actually played any of the story missions for episode 5 yet, because when the game was finally made available, it was PSO2 day, so I just enjoyed some normal missions, trying to soak in the extra rare item drop rate, the extra experience, the extra fun points that I get, and hopefully run into an Arx Rappy for the Arx Rappy suit, which unfortunately I didn't get yet again.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but
Is it like a really high encounter rate, or low, should I
No,
say?
no, yeah.
Yeah, the encounter rate for rappies is not all that high. There's a lot of other rare enemies that are a lot less easy to come by, but usually when you're on regular missions, there's occasionally supposed to be a rappy that shows up in a special costume during a special event. On
Right.
PSO2 day, it's an Arcs rappy that wears the standard Arc suit of the default male character.
Mhm.
And what the Arcs rappy suit is, this is something you can only earn on PSO2 day, which is the second day or the 22nd day of every month. It just makes you look like the rappy wearing the Arcs rappy suit.
Sounds good enough to me.
Ironically, though, even though I didn't get that, I actually did run into an Emperor rappy, which is a lot more rare.
Hmm.
And an Emperor rappy is a giant fat rappy that's dressed like a king and just spreads a bunch of musical notes everywhere. But really, it's a pushover. You beat it and you get a bunch of rare items. And I ended up getting this launcher weapon, which looks like a barrel with a rappy sticking out, and it just fires rappies out. So, yeah,
Jesus.
and what the launchers are basically rocket launchers.
So, I have a question about that. So, you know, you're on episode 5. Has this, when Phantasy Star Online 2 came out, did it start from quote unquote episode 1, or did it carry on where PSO 1 ended on episode 4?
To my knowledge, I believe it's the global Phantasy Star 2 game started with episode 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird, because they technically did episode 4.
Yeah, they did 4 in the original game, didn't they?
Oh.
Because Blue Burst.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was 4, was it?
Yeah, because 3 was that card game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about PSO2 here. When it launched, the global servers, they started with episode 3. Of course, you had to play episodes 1 and 2 before you could get to the episode 3 content.
Yeah.
But otherwise, anything that's not essential to the story that gets introduced with the episode 2 and 3 content updates, that was also there as well, or at least most of it. Some of it would actually have to wait until episode 4 came out. So now we're all up to date with all the stuff that was introduced in Japan for the episode 5 update. And I don't actually remember when episode 6 is coming out. Probably in December. But at some point I'm going to have to go through the story, because I know they're going to do another story mission event where you have to get through a certain mission that comes later in the story in order to get a special item that's going to be very tough to get a hold of otherwise. Also, the Sakura Wars event is still going up, so all the Sakura Wars decorations and music are still there. You can still get all the Sakura Wars cosmetics and such. And then the only other thing I can recall playing was Super Mario Brothers 35.
Oh, yes.
Which is about as fun as I expected it to be. It was great.
Hmm.
It was also a lot easier than Tetris 99. I wouldn't say I'm a particularly good Super Mario Brothers player, but I did actually manage to win at least one battle royale the first time I played it. Not the actual first time I played. I mean, just you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It took
yeah.
me a few tries.
I'm not very good at Mario, I can tell you that for nothing. So
Yeah, I don't think I'll be surviving too well on that game. I
Oh,
love Mario, but
The game's a little bit easier to manage as long as you're decent at Super Mario. What matters is you just have to try not to crack. Because what happens is when you defeat enemies in this game, they're going to be sent to other players. So it'll at some point you're going to have a whole bunch of enemies that are in your path, which occasionally is going to include some of the more annoying enemies like Lakitus or even Bowser. So, but the nice thing is that when you get coins, you can spend coins in a 20 coin interval at any time to get a random item, which Usually you can get a star or a fire flower that should be of use to you if there's a whole bunch of enemies in your path. Of course, the other thing you have to watch out for is the time limit, which I learned pretty quickly. So when you're on World 1-2, I have a habit of always going for the warp zone, but the first time you go there, you probably don't want to do that because you get an extra 15 seconds on the clock when you get to the flag, and to my knowledge, you don't get a time bonus for going through a warp zone.
No, I don't think you do. At least I didn't notice that when the short amount I've played that game.
Yeah, usually the time was not too much of a problem for me. The first time I didn't even notice because just naturally playing through the game managed to amass a whole bunch of time, which is one of the things that eventually led to my victory, my one victory in the game so far. But, you know, other than that, there's really not much to that game. I guess they're going to have a few special events occasionally. Right now there's one going on, but I don't really know what makes it different from the standard mode. And then I guess you also get coins every time you play the game. So after you win or lose, whatever coins you had at that point gets stored into a bank. So you can spend those to start each match with a certain item. So if you have enough, you could start with a flower or a star. Although I don't recommend you start with a star because usually at the start of the level, there's not much enemies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It wouldn't really be that much of a boost, would it?
Most often. Or on just one or two enemies that you could easily just jump on. So, yeah, that's been a great time. You may as So it's a real damn shame that Nintendo's gonna nuke this game in April, though. So if you got Nintendo Switch Online, you may as well enjoy it while you can.
Yep, it's going to be a piece of history soon, so get it in while you can.
So pointless.
Yeah. And so let's move on before I start ranting about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
So who would like to go next?
Should we go next, HunkThunder?
Yeah, can do. I'll keep it short and sweet as usual. Animal Crossing. Being the month of October, everything's gone Halloween.
Spooky.
Which, yeah. So literally every day, I've been going to the in-game shop to buy a piece of candy, which they only allow the sale of one per day because,
Right.
yeah, because they just want to be awkward that way. And buying the Halloween special furniture. So far, I've got an arch for my house. I've also got a stack of pumpkins, which looks very nice outside my house as well. And yeah, just a few other bits and pieces here and there. I've already. They say it's face paint, but it's for the whole body, so I'm basically green like a zombie at the moment, which is always handy. And yeah, got some pumpkins planted, so by the end of the month, I'll have a whole load of Halloween equipment to go.
Nice.
Do they?
Excellent.
Do the villagers go trick or treating?
They will do on the 31st. Yeah,
Oh wow, they actually do.
yeah, they actually have a timed event already in place, so that's gonna be good to go. Other than that, Super Mario Bros. 35.
Yep.
I may have won that a few times,
Yeah, I was watching
including on stream.
Humble brag.
Yeah, yeah. But Elk is right. All you need to do is just make sure you don't crack under pressure. And
Yeah.
I mean, I must have played at least, must be triple digit by now, over 100 games, and yeah, most times I do fall to silly mistakes. I falling down a hole where basically it's just straight up elimination, or it's where I've gone to small Mario, I've run out of coins for the roulette, which will give you the items, and then get caught by Bowser. So there's no way out.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I saw that one where
Yeah, just like, what do I do? What do I do?
you at the edge of the screen, and there was nothing you could do except for just wait for death.
Caught between
Yeah.
Bowser and a hard place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Usually, you are your own worst enemy in Super Mario
Yeah.
5.
There's just stuff that you can do. You just have to wait. The only way you can actually gain an advantage is if you wait in the corner and wait for a few other players to be eliminated before you, which gives you a few extra coins, but still, it's not a nice way to go.
I'm wondering if that was a valid tactic, because you can rack up so much time in that.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could just sort of hang out. I know the enemies will be sent your way, but like, is that a thing that some people do? Do they just sort of hang around in an area?
You can, but the game notices and your timer goes down quicker.
There we go.
So they do sort of shuffle you along.
Good. Because I was wondering about that.
I don't think I've even done that, so I haven't actually noticed.
Yeah. When you get, I think it's like the top 3, the timer also counts down quicker at the same rate as if you're just hanging around. Just to put pressure on like the last 3 people standing, and yeah, that's when most mistakes are made because you're playing against the time.
Yeah.
What else? Also been playing a bit of the Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Oh yeah.
Part of Nintendo Players UK's promotion of the game at the moment, they are doing a secret slide challenge, which is basically
Yeah.
in the secret slide, not the race against the penguin, the other one. It's basically doing it's not the quickest time, but getting under 23 seconds, which is doable.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram post about that.
Yeah. 20.7 seconds is my quickest time so far.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That's neat.
But people have worked out that the old tricks still work, i.e. if you start off going backwards down the slide and then jump off the barrier as soon as you can, you basically cut out the whole course. But thankfully the competition rules state that it's not the quickest, it's just all those under a certain time will be put into a draw, and then they'll get £10 eShop credit from that. But yeah, it's just annoying that I could pull it off, but I don't want to. But, yeah, that's me being fussy. But yeah, I'm surprised myself that I haven't actually played any Sunshine this week. I do want to go back to it, because being the only Murry game that I haven't properly completed yet.
Ooh, the only one?
Yeah, I've completed.
So you've completed Galaxy in 64 before?
Yeah, back in the on the N64 and the Wii, I've completed those. But I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week, but the only time I got Super Mario Sunshine was when I got my Wii, because I didn't have a GameCube back in the day, so it's the least played one. But yeah, it's different, but I'm still learning as if it feels fresh, so I'm still having fun with it.
It has its pluses, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to just call it a bad game, because that's just a ridiculous statement. It's just, I think it's different to what people expected.
Yeah, it's
I've
by no
noticed
means.
People are being a lot more negative towards Sunshine lately.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows with that game. When it came out, everyone loved it, and then like 5 or so years later, everyone hated it. And then sometime after that, everyone loved it again. And then Super Mario 3D All Stars comes out, and now most people hate it again. It's weird. Never understood it.
I think it's a case of that they've got all 3 games there, and yeah, I can see how 64 is. I wouldn't say it's primitive, because it wasn't. It was like the first 3D platformer that actually made sense.
It wasn't primitive for its time, certainly not.
No.
Yeah, and every game ages. That's inevitable. So, even Galaxy is as great as it is.
Yeah, Galaxy is a great game, especially the soundtrack, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, Sunshine is an improvement on 64, but maybe not what people were expecting.
Yeah, I think it's because they've got all three next to each other to think about, and I think that those feelings, negative and positive, come out a bit stronger when they've got things to compare them to.
Maybe it's a lot easier this time to switch from one game to another.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's been my week.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that just leaves Murray Curry.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really got much to add to from last week. I've been playing mostly the same stuff, really. Playing more Spelunky 2, and I've made some slow but steady progress on that now, and really chuffed. In terms of like filling up the journal, I'm quite a large way there now. But in terms of, I've managed to beat the game, but with shortcuts, so which I don't really count that because it's a roguelike. You're supposed to do it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've yet to do that. I came very close to this week, and I literally died outside the door to the final boss, and I was all tooled up for it as well. So as you can imagine, I was ever so slightly annoyed about that. And apart from that, I've just been doing some other little just like the first game, there's lots of these little extra levels that you can get to with a bit of sort of elbow grease, and that adds to your journal completion. So I've just been doing a bit of that, really. So that's been mostly fun, but also irritating. And other than that, I've been practicing up my run for Metroid AM2R for the stream that we did on Friday.
You can check that out on the channel.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I never actually saw most of that game up until then.
Oh, right. What did you think?
I never played it for some reason.
Absolutely, but I can't recommend it enough. I think it's, in my personal opinion, it's the ultimate fun game.
So it's yeah, I mean, you didn't get under 2 hours, but it was only just, and it was supposed to be a nippy run, not a speed run. So I think you did really well.
Cheers. It's just funny though, because I sent you the thing before, didn't I? When I was practicing on the Thursday, the day before, I got the under 2 hours run by a good 4 minutes or something like that, and I said at the time, I won't be able to repeat that.
Yep, you Jackson did.
But I think it went really well anyway. It was still a really fun playthrough. We had a good laugh while we were playing it, and we might actually, we were saying, weren't we, at the time, we might return to AM2R to show some of the rest of the content of the game, including a really good randomizer mode.
Yes, I'd like to see that.
It's a really good one. It's got like 3 different variants of the randomizer, so you can have one where it never randomizes to the point where you break you can soft lock yourself, or the one that I like to play is the full random mode, so you can, if you're not careful, soft lock yourself. And I think that's the one we should do as well, because 2 is quite linear, isn't it? And that's obviously one of the sort of downsides to it. But so with the randomizer, basically, if you get the bombs, just the standard bombs too early, it kind of ruins the randomizer. So if we do that soon, hopefully soon anyway, then we'll do the randomizer, and if we do pick up the bombs too early, we'll just start again, because trust me, it's I've done a couple of runs on that randomizer that are so much fun when you have to work your way around. You have to sort of force entry, so to speak, to certain areas, and it's really good. I do love a randomizer mode. I wish there were more games that would incorporate it.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more standard for people to want to do that. Bloodstained got one, didn't it? So
yeah, that's really good as well. That's got the same sort of thing where you can randomize everything. You can even randomize like the recipes when you make stuff.
Yeah.
Like you'll be trying to make a certain sword, and you could end up making like a cheesecake or something like that. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've been playing really. Spelunky, just think if there was anything else.
Morrowind.
I mean, there's no point mentioning that because it's pretty much always going to be true. I'm playing it right now. Sorry. Sorry. Bit of background interference there. Hope I didn't pick up. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's picking up. So yeah, I swear there was something. Oh yeah, no. I very briefly played a bit of Spelunky 1, not the first HD one. I'm talking about the original.
Oh yes.
2008, I think it was.
Hmm.
And I still think that game's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Just the look and the feel of it, it gives me a big Master System vibe. It
Mhm.
really does. Like, especially the soundtrack. It's just, it's like Master System's got that very distinctive sound, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you can tell a Master System. Sorry?
The FM sound.
Yeah, yes, it's really it's very specific to the Master System. I think, and I suppose you could say Game Gear as well.
Yes, that PSG and FM sound is quite distinct. A bit like
Yeah,
the Mega Drive's Yamaha sound.
absolutely, yeah. And it just gives me a good old vibe of that. And I finally finished a playthrough with that because the original game's it's quite fiddly with the controls. So it's not as hard as the HD version.
Mhm.
If it was, if it wasn't for the fact that the controls are so awkward. Like, it's got a weird thing with the dash button. If you start dashing and jumping and climbing off of walls, like, your dash will be saved. The momentum will be saved even if you've let go of the button. So you can come out of a climb and just flee across the map. You're like, oh Jesus,
That's weird.
I've died a lot for that. So you have to sort of slow you have to basically let go of dash and come to a complete stop if you want to do precise.
I see.
And that could kill you quite a lot.
Mm.
And I am playing the 1.1. I don't know if it ever got many updates.
I don't think so.
It's quite hard to find any, to be honest, because even the official website, which you can still go on Spelunky. I think it's called Spelunky World or something like that, or I don't know. But the official website, still lets you download the original, but it's 1.1, so I don't really think it got many updates, if any. So yeah, I've been playing a bit of that as well. So be a pretty laid back week really in terms of gaming. I haven't really been hitting it too hard.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So is that everyone? That is everyone, I think.
It's just us for this week.
What about you, Gaga Man? What have you been playing?
If you'd like to say in the chat, feel free. Okay, so I guess this brings us on to the news for the week. I guess we start with the big one because it just makes sense. Sure, everyone knows, but the new Smash character was revealed.
We're still live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm noticing the video is unavailable on YouTube.
We're on a different channel. now.
Yeah.
Not a different channel, but
Yeah,
I'll post the link.
there should be a link in the update section.
See what happened. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No worries. So there's been a new Smash character that makes it number 2 of the second pass. And I think that I guess I should have anticipated this. It was not my guess.
Yeah.
I should have.
I'm surprised it wasn't done sooner, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Gagaman says he's been playing Streets of Rage 2 and more Raining Blobs. There you go.
Really?
So
I'm pressing the wrong button to talk. Oops.
so
A button. Sorry, go.
the fire, so end the suspense, has been Minecraft Steve. I mean, when I first saw it, I think we watched it live from HunkThunder's Super Mario 35 stream. It was me, HunkThunder, and Gagaman watching it, as well as those in the chat. And when I first saw it, I was a bit annoyed initially because I don't know, my brain hadn't wrapped around it. I was like, oh god, that's low hanging fruit. But the more,
I was the same. Yeah, I just gut reaction to that kind of thing is no, and then you sort of think about it afterwards.
Yeah, I settled in.
I think for me personally, and a lot of other people in the United States, it might have also just been the fact that the video premiered at 10 o'clock in the morning. So
It was half asleep.
or either must have been very tired back then. Either they were working or they had to wake up early, and that's usually where a lot of the outrage comes from. I think.
Yeah.
I think the Byleth reveal trailer premiered in the U.S. at 8 o'clock in the morning, which I think is the earliest time for a Smash Brothers trailer.
Yeah.
And
So
you remember how outraged people got about that.
so
Help that it's a Fire Emblem character, but anyway, let's move on.
yeah. So yeah, my first gut reaction was, oh no, this is really lame. But as I settled into it, I was just like, well, one, it makes perfect sense, and two, does it matter to me? Just because I'm not that bothered by a Minecraft character, you got to get used to this idea. There's tons of Smash characters, and not every one of them is going to be a winner. You know,
Exactly.
for you personally. And looking at his moveset, it's very inspired, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that's something Smash.
Absolutely, yeah.
Smash.
Yeah, they really went through great lengths to make this accurate to how Minecraft characters perform in the game.
This is one thing that I presume this is Sakurai's domain. Something Sakurai is very good at is being very inspired with the movesets to make them feel like the character transmutes perfectly into Smash. And yeah, you know, I very much, I'm on board. I don't know if necessarily I would ever necessarily play him as such, but I'm happy he's in Smash. You know.
You know what? I probably would give him a bash because I don't really play Minecraft all that much anymore, but I still dabble from time to time, and I never really fell completely out of love with it. I do find that so many updates have happened, so it's gotten to that. It's gotten to that point where like an MMO. If you go away
Just
for a while,
yeah. Or if
you
you
come back and you get overwhelmed.
playing a mobile
Yeah.
game, and it's just so many things you can do now that you don't know what to do. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, well, every so often when I load it up and have a little bash, I'm just like, what is happening?
They have wings now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't know about that either.
so by the end of the trailer, I kind of turned around. I would say, like, it took me that, like, it happened that quickly for me. I thought, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, and don't forget, like, some people out there are like parents and they've got kids and they might want to play Smash with their kids, and saying, hey, do you want to play the Minecraft guy? Makes perfect sense, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking, this is kind of like when Lego Dimensions came out years ago, and they introduced a lot of stuff from a long time ago before most kids that would be interested in the game were even born yet. Like stuff from like Back to the Future and so forth.
Yeah.
That was for that. I always thought that was for the parents. So like that there was something in the game they'd be interested in to help encourage them to play the game with their kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's a good move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us older stuff, we already got plenty of stuff in the game for us. The last Fighters Pass had Banjo-Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and the hero from Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we're probably gonna get at least one more character like
Yeah.
that.
There's still
Fighters.
four more spots, is it, or 3 more spots?
Before,
Yeah.
because there's 6 this time around.
Yeah,
I'm still holding out hope for Kiryu.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love that if that were the
That
case.
would be great.
But that's not all we got. We got to see the next day. We got to see more in depth on how he plays, and we also got to see some of the new what's it called? The
Costumes.
costumes. Exactly. Yeah. I thought these were cool. Now I know one of them has upset Gagaman a little bit because it's kind of like crushed his dreams a bit, you know.
Oh yeah.
But I will contest though. It looks bloody good. It's a good costume, but I understand where it's coming from. So
The fact that there's nothing bloody about it.
So so we got what did we get? We got Gil from Tower of Galaga, which is that's a deep cut. I'm happy about that. I love that game.
I believe that one was also in Smash 4, so that's another returning me costume.
And there was one that I know Murray Curry is going to like, which is Travis Touchdown. Which
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. I wouldn't have expected that.
yeah, I
I
mean
know it's a costume, but still,
At all, but I'm actually happy, even if it is just a me costume.
I think it's a little bit of a reach for Travis to get into Smash in a way because his game is incredibly violent and
that's what
sexual.
I was thinking about Kiryu. So maybe that gives us hope now for Kiryu.
Maybe, yeah.
Travis's vocabulary is very risque. A
That's-
lot more than
Yeah.
Bayonetta's.
Yeah, yeah.
They were able to reach Bayonetta work for an E10 rated game, but for Travis, it might not be so easy.
I think Bayonetta is the absolute limit. I don't think you're going to get pushed much further than that. But yeah, we also got Bomberman, which was the aforementioned one for Gagaman. And what else did we get? I'm sure we got something else announced.
Pig from Minecraft.
Pig from
Yeah, there was a bunch of Minecraft stuff.
The Creeper and the Diamond Armor.
Oh yes, that's correct. Yeah, and we also got to see the Kirby hat.
Yep.
Which was
But still such a hat this time.
Hails Steve.
well.
It is.
What I liked about the Kirby hat is it's a complete transformation. Like it's not just like a hat. Like usually when Kirby, let's say, there's some features there, but he's literally just become a Minecraft character. I'm trying to think if there's another one, maybe Game and Watch that happens. I'm not sure. Where he goes through.
I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I don't think.
Anything else that changes Kirby's shape.
But it's cool. It fits. It's nice. Maybe Kirby will make it into Minecraft one of these days now.
I actually remember someone saying that after inhaling Steve, Kirby kind of looks like Box. A box
Oh, by the
that
way,
has, slipped off the button to talk.
there already was a Mario Minecraft crossover when you got it on the 3DS. It had like the whole pack
There was
for textures and
There was
everything.
a Mushroom Kingdom pack and some Mario costumes. That was
That's
for
right.
all the Nintendo versions of Minecraft, not just the 3DS version.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
also in the Wii U of the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
By the way, Gag says he saw a good take on Travis. He's a loser. It makes perfect sense for him to get a Mii costume. Oh, so does that mean Jackie Bryant and Akira Yuki were also losers?
So yeah, I
Or
mean,
Bomber?
does anyone have any more takes on this news before we move on?
I'm pleased that Bomberman's sort of in it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the whole thing, but it'll do.
He's also got
He
lots
was
of.
assist trophy, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
He also
I do like how his color changes based on your Mii's shirt color.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
I
I
was
also like how Sakurai suggested using the Bomberman skin in X-Bomb only battles.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Thing
which
to
looks really like a really good idea.
battle you get game.
well,
I mean, the thing I'd like to add is just like we could do without the negative responses to it because it could have been a lot worse. And as we said earlier, this is a game that's kind of for everyone, not necessarily just just for a select
30-somethings.
group of oldies like us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
uh,
as long
There's
as
a
it's
lot
a
of-
Fortnite, I'm pretty happy.
yeah.
A lot of the younger generation that plays Smash Brothers too, so you got to throw them a bone
Yeah, I
once
mean-
in a while.
You got to remember there are kids who played Smash when that first came out, and now they're full grown adults as well. And there are also some that have just started with Smash 4, but they're equally valid players of Smash.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Fire Emblem was till I played Melee. So
Yeah.
Here,
I can't get on my high horse about they wouldn't even understand all the old characters. Nor did I. Not all of them.
that was one of my favorite things about Melee. It wasn't just the characters, but that game also introduced me to Fire Emblem as well as Ice Climber, and then the trophy also showed me a whole world of classic games and games that were only available in Japan at the time that I had never known about before.
Yep.
And that was the catalysts that got me into retro gaming.
Yep. Well, the way I see it, Smash is a celebration, and by extending to all of these other games, it's just celebrating other games as well. And I think that should be applauded. It shouldn't be looked down on, no matter your personal disapproval of the character in question. Because I don't even like all the characters that are already in Smash, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? For better or worse, Minecraft has had a huge impact on the video game industry as a whole.
Mhm.
So it's earned its place in video game history, as well as some kind of representation in a game like Smash Brothers.
So
I remember the same thing in the podcast months ago about when Minecraft was added to the World Video Game Hall of Fame in New York, and I stand by it still.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, is that everything? Did you have anything to say, HunkThunder, before we move on, or?
No, I'm said my piece about Bomberman. So
Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll move on to the next piece of news. So Bossa Studio offers Surgeon Simulator 2 for free to NHS staff. So this is a strange one on many levels.
Yeah, just a tad.
I mean, it was a thank you to like key workers at the time. I'm guessing to to show that they're appreciated in the year 2020, and yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a training program. I hope not.
Yeah, that's the problem. The Surgeon Simulator, don't be fooled by the name. It's not really a simulation.
No.
It's
Yeah,
that's like Goat Simulator is not a real simulation of a goat.
Few games with the word simulator in their title could serve as a legit simulator. Yeah, it's
I mean,
like when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out a long time ago.
If anything, it's a malpractice simulator.
I mean, you probably have a closer time with Surgeon Simulator if you were playing Trauma Center.
Yeah,
that,
there you go. That's a little bit more.
Yeah, and in that one, you draw pentagrams with the stylus. So,
I mean, when I was a kid, we used to have these ER simulation games for the PC, which were designed to be a lot more accurate. Of course, my parents bought me one of those when I was little, and I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to do in that game because, I was a kid.
We just had that weird buzzer game. I can't remember what it's called.
Operation,
yeah.
Close enough.
I mean, I don't really have much to say on this. It's an interesting curio, I guess. I
just think it's a nice gesture.
Yeah, it is. I also think that even though Surgeon Simulator isn't a simulator, it is a very, very good test of dexterity. I will say that. That game is bloody hard to play.
Try the Switch version.
I've thought about it like that before.
Yeah, I mean, each single finger is an independent mouse button, so holding things is a physical test of dexterity, and I guess in a sense that's good for surgeons. That could come in handy.
So it's coming back round.
Yeah.
At the same time, it kind of depends on what you're controlling the game with.
Yeah, I mean, it's like essentially 4D surgeon simulation. But yeah, no, I think it's a nice gesture. I don't really have much to say on it, but I'm happy for the staff that get something to play to unwind. But though I say that, this game does not help me unwind.
No.
This game stresses me the F out.
It is a very delicious piece of dark humor for anyone who is used to working in the medical field, though.
So
imagine giving a bunch of chefs Overcooked. You'll try to go over the edge.
That's not a Steam gift. That's a message. That's a threat.
Or imagine a military vet playing something like Metal Slug.
So yeah, does anyone have any takes on this? Really,
I remember reading an article a while ago. Back in the day, surgeons used to play a lot of Super Monkey Ball because
Remember that story?
yeah, basically their fingers and
before.
thumbs are basically putting stuff in the right place and got them prepared somehow. So yeah, it's a bit weird that we've gone from Super Monkey Ball to Surgeon Simulator, but that's
I think
It's that dexterity thing again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
I remember that story. I really do. It was in the papers, and it was. I think he was like a brain surgeon or something like that. And he said he plays Super Monkey Ball for, like you say, dexterity, and I think he specifically said it was hand-to-eye coordination as well. And so there we go. I guess what you were saying about the dexterity is
in an abstract way.
Yeah. There we go.
Never let anyone tell you that video games can't help you in real life in any way at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I have been playing House Flipper lately, and my house is still in a state.
You just got the flipping part down. So yeah, I mean, does anyone else have anything to say before we move on to anything else, or?
No, I'm done.
I can't think of anything really.
Okay. The next one is a very interesting one. I didn't even like when this happened the first time round. So yeah. So the confirm and cancel buttons on the PlayStation 5 have been flipped round in Japan, if I'm reading this right. So in the West, like growing up on Super Nintendo and things like that, A was always confirm and B was always back. So the rightmost button on the diamond of the face pad was always to go forward, and to go back on the menu was always the bottom one. And this carried over to roughly when Final Fantasy VII came out. That was still circle on the PlayStation to confirm and X to go back. And then for me, first time I remember it changing is when I played Final Fantasy VIII, and it was suddenly X to go forward and circle to go back, and that annoyed the crap out of me. So yeah, and that's to a brief history lesson. In Japan, when they mark tests, they use circle to do a confirmation and X to signal something that's wrong. And I've heard that in the USA it's the opposite way round. A cross marks something being correct, and a circle is to mark it as something as a highlight. Circle this, it's wrong, you know.
Right.
And so
also interesting to know, the circle in Japanese in this kind of context, that's called maru, and X is batsu.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is why those symbols were used for the PlayStation. It was to be a guide for people who weren't accustomed to video games before the PlayStation.
Shorthand, essentially. Yeah, exactly. And so they changed it in the West. I understand why they did that in the West, though I felt that it was an unnecessary move. It just made changing every single game to have X as confirmed instead of circle. To this day, whenever I put like my Asian versions of Super Robot Wars into my PS4, circle is forward, X is back, and it throws me for a loop, because when you get put into the save menu, you're suddenly put into the OS of the PS4, and the PS4 still uses X as confirm and circle is back. So you're suddenly using circle, and then you're switching to X for a second just to save your game, and then you're going back to circle again. So
and I remember most of the modern PlayStation games I played, which are all Western versions. A lot of them have me pressing circle for confirm and X for deny or go back.
Yeah, I mean, so
to the point where I can't even remember most of the modern PlayStation games I've played where it's the other way around, and that kind of throws me off when I go back to games from the PlayStation or the
Super Nintendo.
Excuse me, or the PlayStation 2. Because back then it was all X to confirm for the Western versions of games.
Yeah,
it's very strange that they change it after all this time, though.
Yeah, I mean they're changing it in Japan, no less, to conform with the standards in the West, which I find very odd. I don't see the reason to do this.
I'm guessing they want to give people less work for when they change the game for different regions.
Yeah, literally changing two lines of code essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, but like this happens with all kinds of games, though, not just on PlayStation, but usually it's on I remember hearing the Kirby games on the 3DS, for example. They have tutorials that show you the buttons that that do certain actions, and when you hit the right button in the Japanese version, it shows a circle on the sign that shows what the button you're supposed to press is.
But it's not.
To confirm that you got the right button. And for the Western version, they changed it to a check mark.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just out of interest to people here, what is all of your personal preference if you got to choose? You know, would you rather be pressing X to confirm or circle or whatever analog for another console?
I'd say X, because basically the way my thumbs just go on a controller,
Hmm.
Yeah.
it covers like the cross or X and square,
Oh, okay.
and I just move my thumb over to get triangle and circle.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just well, I'm natural to.
I'm the same. I spent so long doing it the other way around that I prefer to,
Use X.
personally to keep it that way. Yeah.
I think.
Um,
Oh, Karen, sorry.
no, I was just going to say, that's just because, from the West, that's how we've been doing it all this time.
Mm. What about you, Elk? How do you stand with it?
I would definitely prefer the circle button to confirm,
Mm.
just because I'm used to all the modern games now. In fact, I actually just realized when I play PSO2, I just picked up the controller that I used to play the game on my computer, just to bring back my muscle memory for when I confirm in the menus, and I just realized I'm pressing the B button to do that. And this controller is based off the Xbox controller, so the B button is in the same place as on a Nintendo controller, or the circle button on a PlayStation controller. So,
I mean, for me, I've always liked like the things from the Super Nintendo era's controls. I play a lot of RPGs, so I guess that's where that comes from. Where I've not got to have a lot of hand dexterity. I don't need a lot of that when playing an RPG, so I've always liked my finger resting on A to confirm and then just pressing B to go back, and or what would be X or triangle to go to menus and stuff. That's just me. So I was always annoyed when it changed back in the day, and while I'm quote unquote used to it, I do on occasion go into the menu and change the controls back to circle and X, being what they were in Japan. So, but yeah, this I think this is weird. Maybe there is some reason that I don't understand behind it, but yeah, I mean, does anyone have any thoughts on this?
I was just thinking, I wonder what button they use to confirm for everything except PlayStation in Japan. Because if it's
still the same,
if they still use it, okay, so they're still using the B button to confirm.
No, it's A on Nintendo and B to go back.
A on wait a minute, am I getting my
Yeah,
buttons confused?
you're
again?
I think you're mixing them up. Yeah, so A is the button on the right, that's confirm in Japan, and the one on the very bottom.
Okay, so on Nintendo controllers, the A button's on the right.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, just as Gagaman
Okay,
said.
hold on a second.
Nintendo read the alphabet backwards.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I do.
Okay, yes, I'm looking at my
I
I'm
thought
looking at my Pokken Tournament controller, which is the closest Nintendo controller I've got to me at the moment, and yeah, it does have the A button there.
Yeah.
On the right.
I thought America was like the Nintendo country. So for me, I've always liked like A forward, B back, or circle and then X. But that's, I realise that in the West, most people are fully adapted to X being forward and circle being back. So yeah.
Nintendo and Microsoft even switched up the positions of the X and Y buttons. How have I not noticed this?
Yeah, it's always like
Confused every time I play Xbox games.
it's two diagonal lines where it's like A, B, and then X, Y. So like the beginning and the end of the alphabet. Well, near the end of the Y. I don't know why it's X and Y, not like Y and Z.
I don't know. I mean, it's well, when Sega made controllers, when they did the Genesis and the not the Dreamcast, the Saturn controllers, they had 6 buttons. So, well, they didn't always have 6 buttons, but when they did, it was always A, B, C, and then X, Y, Z for the ones on the top.
Yeah, that makes.
So maybe that just rolls off the tongue better than A, B, C, D, E, F.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess there's not much more to say on that particularly, but I would like to know what the thought process is, other than hopefully it's not just hegemony. Can't say the word. Hegemony. So they're just
Hegemony.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. I guess that's all we've got to say on that. Unless anyone has anything to throw in.
No.
Okay. So we just
I'm gonna get all
burn
my PlayStation 5 games from Japan now.
it.
Oh wait, no. This change is happening there too.
Yes,
I forgot.
that's what I
Damn
mean.
it.
Yeah.
Yep, you'll just have to go into the options of the game and then put it back to normal.
They
So,
better have that in the accessibility options.
so,
I should imagine they would. Yeah.
so we're kind of burning through the news, but so yeah. So one thing, the next bit of news or final bit of news is so WWE and their magnanimous owner Vince McMahon is taking away their wrestlers' Twitch streams.
Oh, that's douchey.
It's really childish. It's such a McMahon thing to do. So basically, a lot of streamers have wrestlers have other revenue systems. One of the most famous ones is probably up, down, down.
Xavier Wood.
Yep, Xavier. And he does.
Xavier Wood. Sorry.
Yes, and he does a video game channel and he brings in all the wrestlers and they play video games, and yeah, it's really cool. You know, they're part of. Oh damn, what was the name called? New Day.
New Day.
New Day. Yeah, they're essentially the comedy act in current WWE. So yeah, basically they won't be able to use YouTube, Twitch, or Cameo, which apparently is a service where fans can pay wrestlers to ask questions in video form. So I guess it's like an
Cameo's amazing. Have you seen some of the ones that David Hayter's been doing?
No, I haven't. I've never heard of it before. This is a first.
Oh, you'll have fun looking that up.
Okay, so it's essentially it's an AMA service, I guess.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you pay it depends on how greedy the person is, but sometimes it's like about $15 or something like that, which I suppose isn't too bad. But you get them to basically they just record like a message for you on their phone, like a little video, and you get to say almost anything you want. Almost.
So Gagaman says Xavier's in Superman R, which I remember. That is true. Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, all comes full circle, doesn't it?
Come to think of it, there's another wrestler in that game. A fictional one, though.
Oh, is it?
It was one of the girls from Rumble Roses.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the Vince McMahon has put his foot down on that, and it's like he hates being successful lately. You know.
He just hates doing nice things for the people that work for him.
Or just
in general.
In general, anyone really. Yeah, he's a piece of work, that guy. I mean, I think HunkThunder is probably more in the know about the current state of wrestling than I am. I know the broad strokes of things, but this is not new behaviour for Vince McMahon.
No, he is a businessman, and roundabout way he did put WCW, which is another wrestling company from years ago, out of business because basically the two went on the same I wouldn't say the same TV channels, but on the same night at the same time, and they're always going back and forth
The same time slot.
ratings.
Yeah.
But yeah, now there's not really any competition, although there is
It's gonna
a
be
company called AEW.
AEW.
which-
Yeah.
Yeah, still have some kind of alternative.
Mm.
It's pretty much YouTube, Twitch, and this Cameo is the only place where wrestlers who are on both brands, as it were, can get together and sort of like a neutral ground. And I think that's probably why Vince is getting a bit angry.
Yeah.
That other people from rival company are coming in and gaining a bit of fame that way. Because
It's sad because as far as I know, they don't. There's no kayfabe. Like kayfabe isn't there when they're doing their streams. For those who don't know, kayfabe is like the word in the business for keeping up the pantomime of the fact that they're actors acting as wrestlers. They pretend to hate each other when they don't, and things like that. So when kayfabe is the name for the illusion. So they're just playing themselves. They're just being themselves, you know. And yeah, they've got people from other things. Maybe they'll get Kenny Omega from AEW sometimes because he likes a video game, you know.
Yeah.
But this idea that Vince McMahon can control their life outside of their job is ridiculous to me. I don't know what legal grounds he has. I guess he can just fire them. But
yeah,
yeah,
I think it's pretty much the same. Probably the same case of any other job, you can't really talk about stuff on social media because obviously the company doesn't want like company secrets being shared about. Say, for example, my company, that they basically, if I was to say anything, my manager would say, "Hey, why did you say that for?" And I said, "Well, it's nothing to do with the company, but that's by the by." But yeah, it's
you say anything bad about China.
oh goodness, no. No, I can understand why, from business perspective, that if he's getting someone from the competition appearing on someone's show, which is nothing to do with either show, it's just this.
Yeah, I think it just shines a light on the way Vince McMahon tends to view the world, which is these wrestlers are a commodity. They're my property, essentially, while they're working for me. That's how I feel like it reads to me. And they don't have a life outside their job in the wrestling. Maybe that's a reach, but it feels to me like he sees them as nothing more than that, and the fact they can't make money, which like that, and they'll say what can they not work in KFC, and then say Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods goes to work in the same KFC. Hypothetically, is he going to stomp that out? You know, so,
exactly.
You know,
it's ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, so you know, I don't know. I guess they're just going to keep making terrible wrestling games, and unfortunately, I guess this is the end of Up, Up, Down, Down, and probably others.
Yeah, I reckon they. Go on, Elk.
I just said what a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them sort of fighting their way out of like going back on streams and everything, and everything being back to normal eventually. But I see Pickerman in the chat saying WWE won't talk about the guy who won the 2004 Royal Rumble. There is a reason for that.
Is that was that the one?
That's there.
Which one was that?
I tuned out.
Oh yeah, the one where kayfabe was broken. Yeah, is it that one?
No, it's because the winner got a bit controversial here because this actually did happen. He murdered his family.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry.
Yeah. So So that's a pretty big reason why.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But that they're funny like this. Like I say, they got rid of. I won't go into details. They got rid of Hulk Hogan from the Hall of Fame, and then they just put him back in again after just what the hell. But wrestling gonna be wrestling, or at least WWE is gonna be WWE. I don't think that's ever gonna change. But if
their own rules.
But if the New Day are listening and they want to jump out and join AEW, I think that would be a good move. You know.
Or him get Xavier Woods on here and Lucky Hair.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to restart Up, Down, Down in here, you can.
Or heck, they could just say screw the WWE. We're just gonna go full on YouTube instead.
So I mean, I guess there's not really much more to say on that, really. I mean, I don't know if people really have anything to say on that, but yeah.
Well, I just hope they don't get in the way of Asuka being an internet darling.
I can't see that happening. Yeah.
I'm not. She's been on the Up Down a few times, but she's not a regular part of the show. She's mostly on Twitter, and she's absolutely adorable.
No longer the undefeated though.
Yeah. I do subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. It's just that, her being Japanese, she's basically going out and finding stuff that Japanese people would find fascinating about America. It's quite a wholesome little channel she got.
Yeah, because I mean, she was essentially a B-lister when she was in Japan, and then she just sort of like became very popular. Very, very rare case of someone coming to WWE and becoming more successful than when they started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And fun fact about Asuka, she is primarily known as a video game reviewer over in Japan.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And she owns 30,000 games.
Wow.
More than me.
Yeah, that's a lot more than me as well.
That might be a good chunk of them, to be honest, of all of them. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, Vince McMahon's gonna keep Vince McMahon, and I just hope that there's some competition to make him have to think a bit more ethically with his business one of these days. So yeah, so that's really kind of the news, really. So yeah, I mean that makes it quite a short stream this time.
Podcast is over. Good night, folks.
So yeah, unless anyone has anything they'd like to add or anything like that, I guess that's it for tonight.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, now in 10 minutes, that's us done.
Okay. So yeah, so this was a slightly quicker format. I guess it maybe would have run a bit longer if Gagaman. I don't know. But we
Two extra people, so
yeah, it was less people, so it was less to go through, and we got through stuff pretty quick.
Wanted to ramble on and on for an hour.
Nah.
Ramble about nothing. Hey, you guys wearing socks? I like wearing socks.
I'm actually not
Nah, socks are overrated.
at the moment.
I'm wearing Pac-Man socks, so yeah.
I'm not wearing
What's that?
socks. I lied. Socks suck.
Oh, Cherry Terrier is playing Pokemon.
That's a shocker.
We knew it.
Says the guy playing Morrowind.
That's just one of those universal truths, really. The Cherry
I'm
Terriers.
just playing PSO2 all the time. And before there was PSO2, I was playing Yakuza all the time.
So there's Murray Curry, and then HunkThunder,
Yeah, and Murry was doing that too for a long time as well.
and HunkThunder still digging away at Animal Crossing. I think I'm the only person who doesn't have one constant go back to, apart from maybe the fact that I play Metroid all the time, but not really.
I envy you, bro.
You can quit any time, it's just you don't want to.
Yep.
Okay, so all right, I've been ShelvedGamer.
I've been Murray Curry.
I've been HunkThunder.
I've been the Gagaman, and this has been Cherry Hunter. Wait, no, sorry. I've been Lady Gaga, sorry.
Cherry Hunter.
You know when Cherry Hunter was first revealed for Streets of Rage 4, I kept calling her Cherry Terrier by accident. But for real though, I've been Big Elk.
Okay, well, thanks for joining. We should be back next week. I don't know. I don't know if Gagaban's back next week or not, but otherwise it'll be me again, I suppose, and we'll bumble through this again next time.
I guess we'll try our because if you guys don't, I'm gonna fly over there and slap all of you. Because Gagaman told me to.
Okay, bye everybody.
Goodbye.
Go.
Oh, boys.